A group of many other doctors who tried to speak about the effectiveness of hydroxychloroquine. She got fired.
And of course, there's tens of thousands of doctors out there talking about this stuff, and virologists and epidemiologists and all sorts.
Find the notebooks if you don't find the material, which was not in my possession but planted in my house.
As if you took intellectual property from the laboratory.
In today's interconnected world, the internet is a double-edged sword. Not all information is trustworthy, especially when it comes to vaccines. COVID-19 spread rapidly throughout the globe, causing mass fear and anxiety. We are living in an era where vaccine misinformation is a real threat. The World Health Organization has labeled vaccine hesitancy as a major concern since 2019. Ongoing debates about the vaccine safety are adding fuel to the fire. Misinformation often originates from deep-seated philosophical belief. Take, for example, the false claim in 2011 that all vaccines contain forbidden ingredients in Islam. While some vaccines are made with that component, not all of them are, and this generalization has increased vaccine hesitancy among Muslim communities. Beyond that, wild conspiracy theories circulate. From viewing the pandemic as divine punishment to believing 5G technology is actively transmitting the virus. Have you ever come across the term plandemic? It suggests pharmaceutical companies create viruses for profit. A perplexing world of theories, isn't it? Many conspiracies arise from feelings of distrust, fear, anxiety, and paranoia as people try and create their own sense of their situation, combining what they know with sometimes illogical thoughts. People gather their information from two main sources: traditional means, the radio, newspaper, or TV, and non-traditional means such as social or digital media, podcasts, and the opinions of others. During the pandemic, misinformation was abundant. People consumed information from numerous sources and were overloaded with information. This allowed many hypotheses and theories to form. As more people placed their trust in these theories, a growing distrust in sources such as the news, medical organizations, and governments appeared. In Canada, approximately 2 million citizens refused to be vaccinated. Consequently, thousands of people died due to vaccine hesitancy. Moreover, misinformation caused harms such as not following the rules and regulations to prevent the spread, eroding trust in the healthcare system. There is no shadow of doubt that it caused over $300 million in hospital expenses over 9 months of the pandemic. Now let's dive into the aftermath of rampant misinformation.
Well, it's been a week of constant honking, constant hate in social media, walking just down the street. It's hate. People are being harassed for wearing masks.
The 2022 Freedom Convoy protests. Originally, truckers were protesting vaccine mandates for those who had to cross the border into the United States. What started as a call for peaceful protests has morphed into a chaotic scene, displaying symbols of hate and anti-government sentiments. Many of these protesters knew about the convoy through social media and streaming services, including other mass communication channels. Similar to US protests, it became based on personal hopes, lifestyles, and grievances. The climax came when the Canadian government invoked the Emergencies Act in February 2022, putting an end to the protests.
These illegal protests need to stop, and they will, Mr. Speaker.
Despite the attention, it's challenging to label the convoy a success. 80% of the population was already vaccinated, and polls indicated only 29% support the ideas of the protest. While protests are a legitimate form of expression, the potential harm arises when misinformation, divisive symbols, and anti-government sentiments become central to the movement. It hinders collective efforts to address public health challenges. COVID-19 is not the first pandemic to cause a worldwide frenzy, but it is the first to be heavily impacted by social media. According to the World Health Organization, 6,000 people were hospitalized in the first 3 months of 2020 due to misinformation. Reporting misinformation is a campaign launched allowing people to verify information as well as report misinformation. Most importantly, we must dedicate our own research to make sure we are receiving news from viable sources and verified health specialists. We must ask ourselves, is it a good idea to listen to angry people with huge followings but little knowledge? As we move forward, let us remember the lessons learned from the COVID-19 pandemic. Misinformation is not just a byproduct of the digital age. It's a challenge we must actively confront. By promoting accurate information, fostering trust in reputable sources, and encouraging a culture of critical thinking, we can collectively build a more informed and resilient society. Thank you for joining us in this exploration of misinformation surrounding COVID-19. Stay vigilant, stay informed, and practice seeking for the right information. As the famous former Roman emperor, Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius once said, "It's the truth I'm after, and the truth never harmed anyone. What harms us is to persist in self-deceit and ignorance."